Okay, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Edupia Live. So today we have Tanzim, as I promised, as our esteemed guest and the founder of Hexatech Solutions. So before I go ahead and start the discussion, I just want to send the link to some people, and I want to share the link to some places as well, so that a lot of people can find this thing easily. So Tanjim, একটু আমার একটা সেকেন্ড সময় দে, আমি তোর লিংকটা দিচ্ছি। Okay.
No, please. Take your time.
Sure. Okay. Yep, here we are. আচ্ছা, আমি তোরে ট্যাগ দিয়েও দিচ্ছি, সো দ্যাট তোর জন্য ইয়া হয়ে যায়, সুবিধা হয়ে যায়।
আমাকে একটু লিংকটা তুই মেসেঞ্জারে দিয়ে দিন।
এই যে আমি এটা তোরে দিলাম। Okay, yeah, there you go. I sent the link to your inbox. All right. So yeah, so Tanzim, ডিসকাশনটা আগানোর আগে আমরা মানে কিছু জিনিস একটু বলা জরুরি, সেটা হচ্ছে যে তানজিম used to be my varsity mate, so to speak. We used to study in the same class in the university. So ও টেক্সটাইল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ছে, আমিও টেক্সটাইল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়ছি। তো ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যে আমাদের মধ্যে সবচেয়ে বড় কমনালিটিটা যেটা, the biggest common thing that we have between us is that both of us are trying to explore outside of the textile territory. So the thing is, right after graduation, we jumped into the textile sector, and after that, we grew tired of it eventually. Amra motamoti tired hoye gesilam etar porei. So definitely, আমার একটু লম্বা সময় লাগছে. I took a bit longer. তার মধ্যে আমি বাইরে গেলাম, আবার দেশে আসলাম. But তানজিম যেটা করছিল, what he did is he moved on pretty quick. I think after 6 or 7 months he moved on, or he decided that he needs to switch track. So that's how he did this thing. And now the thing is, he is going to launch his own startup that is called Hexatech Solutions. And so আমি এটার ব্যাপারে খুব বেশি, I'm not gonna talk too much detail about this thing, so I will let Tanzim take the floor and explain how he got to this point, how his journey started, and where it all began, so to speak. So Tanzim, the floor is yours. Give us a little rundown of how things came to be.
Thank you very much, Lincoln. Thank you. Thanks, Lincoln. Thanks, my old friend. All right. So first, I would like to introduce everyone who doesn't know me, who I am, because I'm not known to people that much. However, my name is Tanzim Hussain. I'm an IT business analyst currently, and I own my own company right now in Bangladesh. It's called Hexatech Solutions. And my motto to establish this company is to introduce the modern world communication system and blind up IT and business together in Bangladesh. That was the motto to start this business for myself. All right, Lincoln, now you can ask me, what do you need to know?
Yeah, sure. So the thing is, my first question to you would be, what actually compelled you to take such a decision, or what actually compelled you to get out of the textile sector after you graduated? What did actually happen to you after you graduated?
Okay, this is the most common question I always get from people. But however, I'm not tired of telling it, because there's definitely a reason that I shifted, right? So after I graduated, I almost worked around 10 months in AEPZ in one company. I used to work in the IE department. But however, after working 10 months, what I realized is that this is not exactly the sector that I really can see my future. Lots of reasons that I don't want to bring right now, because lots of issues. However, then I was thinking that what would be the best situation for me at that point if I want to move to another sector, because first option I had I can just, join any company in Bangladesh, because after your graduation, you can just join anywhere, right? It doesn't matter which subject you graduated from. But I wasn't so interested on that, because what I realized is that if I don't get any more degrees on any particular sector, then I won't have any better future over there. So then I was one day talking to one of my cousins. His name is Fahim. He's currently in Canada. He is an CSA engineer there. So he first told me that in North America, IT sector is now booming right now, and also I know that in Bangladesh it's also booming. So he told me that I can try and see the IT business analyst subject for myself. So I did my own research from this end, and then I was like, okay, I might give it a try, because it sounds interesting, because of the research results that I got. It sounded like similar that what I would like to do. Then I started my journey. So I started gathering the information that how I can prepare myself and what are the prerequisites before I even can apply to the universities over there. Then I realized that IELTS is the base, because without IELTS, I cannot go for higher education in Canada. It's quite impossible there. However, then I started my journey. I went to St. John's for a few months. It was nice going there. But before, I would like to say a few things about this IELTS journey, to be honest, because I had my English base developed when I was in class 2 or 3. I had few amazing teachers who were just focused on my English development on that time. So I had my grammar knowledge and whatnot. So I wasn't so bothered before I even started that coaching for IELTS. I thought, it's not going to be so difficult for me, because I already know everything, right? But once I started, first thing I noticed that about speaking, I couldn't say anything at all. So there were two factors involved there. So first, those pretty girls who were taking my classes, I was so shy that how I'm going to talk in English with them. And the other thing was that once I tried to talk, then I realized that I'm not as fluent as I was thinking, because I watch movies and I watch whatnot else in English, and I'm capable of understanding that, but I never had that experience to talk or communicate with someone in English. Then I realized that IELTS, it's not something that explains that whether you actually know English or not. It's something, a different curriculum.
I would like to interrupt you a little bit right there. So could you share with the audience how much English were actually taught, how much English actually was taught, or how much English did we practice during the university years? Did we actually do anything about it, or was English any part of our lifestyle during the varsity years? Can you share a little bit about that?
Sure. I don't know. It's kind of confusing to say. I don't know how audience is gonna take these things, but what I understood is that the base of my English that I had, it wasn't basically I went to school or in our university that taught us specially on these sections. It was something to be honest, my mom, who was very focused since I was a kid. So here's the first thing, that how bad I was in English. So I was in class 2. My mom took me to one of the English teachers. On that time, he was pretty good. He was a teacher of here in Dhaka. However, so he asked me one question first, that can you tell me this English? Ami skule jai. And I couldn't say that line. I was that bad. I was so shocked that I couldn't say that line even. So that was the first boost for myself, that I was so ashamed of myself, but I didn't.
It was easy. It was easy. It was easy. I I go to
challenge.
Asanullah. The answer should be I go to Asanullah. The answer is pretty easy.
Well,
It was
I
it
go to
was like a school,
Asmullah.
right?
I guess
It
yeah,
was like a
yeah.
school, right?
It's kind of it was a school for us, definitely.
Yeah,
It was pretty hard.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was the thing. That's how it started. And afterwards, I also dedicated myself. I gave hours and hours. I started reading English newspapers. I know that people say these things, well, it doesn't work and whatnot. But in some way, what I felt like those things helped me later on. But however, my base of the English or the fluency or the confidence I got about speaking or whatever in English wasn't finalized in Bangladesh. It happened afterwards, to be honest. That's the next story I will tell you later.
So that was your IELTS journey, so to speak. What we make of it. So after the IELTS exam, how did you actually go about this visa processing or getting the student visa for yourself for going to Canada? Like how this thing came about?
Okay, that was another story. So, as you understand, I never had any idea about like going. I even didn't have that thing in my head even before I graduated that I will go abroad, especially in Canada and like study there and whatnot. It was just the momentum. Maybe that was just the perfect time for me to realize that well, I do something more than just graduating from Asunla. I'm not saying Asunla is bad, but I'm saying for my career, I need more education. Um, mm, then I don't know why it was Canada, but while I was researching about going abroad and whatnot, it came up over and over again. And then my cousin was telling me from Canada that you should be trying here. And then I realized that their education is one of the best in the world. So I was like, well, why not? So I went to few agencies, to be honest, first, because I had no clue how to do these things. Uh, Honestly speaking, pretty much everyone told me that I won't be able to get my student visa for some reason. I don't know why, but they told me that for me it's quite impossible and whatnot. So yeah, you understand. I was just a new noob on that time regarding like the visa
I
process for
can
Canada.
I'll add to that. I got the same response when I was trying to go to Australia as well, and that usually happens. I think that particularly happens to the students who belong to the textile sector or belong to the textile engineering faculties, because the thing is there aren't many higher study opportunities offered in Australia or Canada when it comes to textile engineering. I think there are some courses that are offered in Germany though, but in Canada and in Australia, it's a totally different deal. So whenever people hear that we are trying to go to Canada or Australia, they highly discourage people like us. Like you won't be getting anything over there. You won't even be getting any courses over there. So I think that is what you got as well.
Yes, like that is absolutely right. That was one of the issues that at the beginning I was struggling that I couldn't get any option for textile engineering, like masters in textile engineering in Canada or in Australia, as you mentioned. But it was kind of available in Europe. But I wasn't so interested to go in Europe for some reason. I don't know. It's just a preference, I guess. But then later on, I decided, well, I actually don't want to work in textile industry. So why I'm looking even for like higher studies in textile? Why don't I explore some other sectors? Then, as I mentioned, someone suggested me about ID. Then I did my research, and I felt like, well, uh, being an IT business analyst is something interesting to me, and it was pretty new even to the North American education system. So I just, took my chance. Like I just wanted to see how it goes. But however, while starting it and even after starting it, I felt it was the perfect decision. And another thing I would like to tell you, one of the reasons that the agencies in Bangladesh especially tell you, if you specifically tell those agencies that this is the specific university that you want to apply for, then that's the issue, because some of the agencies have some connections with some specific colleges or universities in abroad. So from where, if they get some students from Bangladesh to those universities, they get some commission out of them. So to get those commissions, sometimes, yeah, buddy, that's to get those commissions, they sometimes insist people not to go for that specific university, or even sometimes they say that, well, you're not going to get your visa if you go for that university. If you go with this university, we will be able to help you even to get your visa. But to be honest, getting visa, they have no hand in them. It's just their experience that they know how to do it. And also the experience they gather, you also can get it. Just you have to go to the university website, see all the requirements that they mention over there. For every specific course, they have specific requirements. You have to match your requirements with those. If you have those credentials ready for yourself, you will be definitely getting admission to the university. And the embassy visa is something different. It's nothing related with the university. After you get the approval from your university, then the embassy will be interested to give you a visa, but it's not confirmed. It depends on the documents checklist that they provide for every individual students. So if you can just follow through with those document checklists, if you prepare the documents properly, I think even that's how I did it. Like I didn't go I didn't make it through with the agencies. I did it all by myself, to be honest, afterwards. And I got my visa, whereas all the agencies say that my visa will be rejected by any means. So yeah, like you have to believe in yourself, you have to do your homework, you have to do your researches properly, and definitely nothing can stop you, man.
So yeah, I still remember like when we got the news of you getting the visa to Canada, and when you heard that you're going to study in Canada, we were kind of surprised as well, all the classmates, because you and me, we were known to be two of the most inattentive students of the whole class from the whole class. So the thing is, people like us getting an opportunity to do something like that was kind of extraordinary. And your story that actually gave me kind of like a motivation as well to go forward or to explore otherwise. And the thing is that your IELTS, when I heard that you took the IELTS test and you were trying for it, and like you're running around collecting your documents and trying hard to get that visa, like we were skeptical. Honestly, we were skeptical about it. We thought that he's probably not going to make it, he's probably wasting his time in vain. But the thing is, if you want to get something done, or if you want to get something, definitely, like, give your heart and soul, try your best. You might get it, you might not get it. At least you'll have the satisfaction that I tried my best. I think that's what happened to Tanzim as well. So now there is another
Hey man,
question,
even
another
if you
burning
don't get
question.
it, you
Yeah,
have the experience of
yeah,
it.
yeah, definitely. You know the process. So my crucial question to you would be, like, a Bangladeshi student studying textile engineering, and then you became an international student who's studying in Canada and studying IT business analysis, which is a totally different ball game. So how did you gel with the system? How was your adaptation, or how did you manage to adapt to that kind of environment?
Thank you. This is the major section I would like to talk about, because this is the section made me who I am today. That part of my life totally changed me. Uh, so yeah, first of all, before I was leaving Bangladesh, even from my family, I heard that, well, you even never went to the kitchen in Bangladesh. How are you going to survive over there? You never washed your clothes. Everything's served and done here. Like, how are you going to do these things? But you know what? I was always positive, and I always tried to be confident. I know even sometimes I knew deep inside that, well, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do it. But outside, I never get that on me. Like I tried to be positive, and I never tried to get feared of everything. So I took the challenge. I always like taking challenges. So before I was leaving, that was my challenge. That some people say that I won't be able to complete my education, or even like I won't be able to stay there even for 6 months, because I can't just do it, right? But however, later on, I moved there. Um, it was something different. Trust me, Lincoln, because after I landed there, I stayed in East Coast. It's called New Brunswick, Canada. And Fredericton is my hometown. I call myself the homeboy there. However, the population over there was 50,000, and the city was as big as Dhaka. So you can understand. There wasn't much population over there.
Very much spread out.
First, when yeah, but I reached basically 1 day prior, basically the previous night before my class started in Canada. So next morning I woke up and I went to university. First, the welcoming was pretty nice. I was tensed a bit because I don't know, it's something new and different culture. I wasn't even sure what I'm doing. However, later on, it went by almost 3 months there. I had no friends. Trust me, because I was shy. I was afraid of approaching people and talking to people. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure whether people will accept me because it was totally new environment for me, right? Then one day, I was sitting in the cafeteria with another international student. Her name was Shaida. She was from Iran. I was talking to her, and I was kind of upset because Lincoln, right? I was pretty much popular here, I would say, in the university or whatnot. I used to know a lot of people, right?
Definitely, no doubt about that. I can vouch for that.
Outside along with my friends. But over there, it was almost 3 months and I had no friends. I was just there with my cousin, and he was also busy doing his university and schools, whatnot. So I was to be alone most of the time. So while I was really upset on the cafeteria, so that guy came. His name is Caleb the Merchant. He was my classmate. He came to me and he saw me upset, and he was like, "What happened, Tanzim? Why you are so upset?" And I don't know what happened. I just looked at him and I was like, "Man, I'm frustrated. I have no friends here in Canada. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive."
Were you crying or something?
No, I wasn't crying. I was just upset. Like,
feeling down.
Like, he saw me
feeling down.
You can understand when a person is upset, right?
Definitely. Sure.
He looked at me, he smiled, and he's like, "Man, I'm your friend. Don't worry about it." And I was kind of shocked. I'm like, he's been my friend for 3 months. We barely talked. Like, I barely talked with anyone in the class because I was pretty shy on the time, I guess. So he told me that, well, that was the end of our class for that day. So next day we came by, and after class, he invited me to his friend's place. That was my second friend in Canada. His name was Corey Robershaw. I guess he's watching it right now.
Yeah, he just
so he also welcomed me. So he also welcomed me he gave me a warm welcome, and I was pretty shocked and shy because I was going to a house that I don't know who's that person even is, and the guy I'm going with, he just became my friend that day back and whatnot. And from there, that journey started. And these people that I mentioned helped me a lot. And thanks to Caleb the Merchant, to be honest, I guess if he wasn't there, I wouldn't be able to graduate. He helped me every possible way that he could have done. He was dyslexic, but he was the best person I've ever met. And like, he's a very, very, very talented person. But yeah, that's how it started. And later on, my roommates were even Canadians. I got my bursary during my education. So I got like 50% waiver on my last semester, which was a good help towards my family because my dad was taking all these expenses. And after my graduation, then I went to work with the government over there, government of New Brunswick. I worked for their pension and benefit department as a junior business analyst over there. That experience was something else because previously I worked in like Burger Kings and in the hotels, whatnot, like, those part-time jobs for the students. But that was the moment That was my first work. I cannot. The experience I got there boosted my confidence to become an IT business analyst to another level. Because first thing, I had two bosses over there basically. My senior business analyst, Nancy, and my project manager. These were the only two person that I was supposed to report. But I learned one thing from them, that you have two options. Either you can be a boss or you can be a leader. I had two leaders with me on that time. So that inspired me that I never want to be a boss. I want to be a leader, man. And that's what I always say to my even employees, that, man, I'm not your boss. You even can call me by my name. I don't mind. I'm just your leader. So just follow my lead. As long as you're following my lead, everything is good. Yeah, and afterwards, the government changed, so all the employees changed. So I got transferred to another company. I got a job. It's called Fido in Canada. It's the second largest telecom company in Canada. So I worked there after almost 1.5 years with them. Yeah, and yeah, there I also did pretty good. I got 2 promotions during my work time, and yeah, not bad. Um, yeah, all those experiences I gathered, and later on I actually had a situation that I had to move back in Bangladesh. But while I was moving, I didn't have any wish to get back in Canada right away, because by that time I was a changed person. I believed in reality. I understood how to accept the reality of life. So I wasn't demotivated. I was more boosted that, well, I gained a lot of things in Canada, and now if I can go back in Bangladesh and provide it to my country, I believe that even 1% I can change in Bangladesh, and that might be something helpful for the country. And why not? If everyone stays back there, then how this country will gonna develop? That was my motto after getting back, and yeah, then this journey.
Definitely. The thing is, those years abroad, they actually do change a man a lot. I can definitely relate to that. And the thing is, one thing I can vouch for as well is, like in Australia, I had Aussie colleagues and I had some Canadian colleagues as well. There were some Canadian people who actually migrated to Australia. I would say between the two bunches, I would say the Canadian people were much nicer. They were like very gentle, they were very friendly as well, and they like they make you like they make you feel like you're one of their own pretty quick. Aussie people, they're a little bit more conservative. They would smile, they will nod, they will say hello, they will say good morning, but they won't go beyond that. There's a certain point that they won't there's a certain boundary that they don't breach. But Canadian people, they aren't like that. I've found them to be much more friendly and much more accommodating, so to speak. And they're way more friendly towards foreigners as well. They actually accept foreigners pretty quick, so to speak. So like, I always respect the Canadians for that, and the great state of Canada for that. Even though I didn't get the chance to visit there yet, but I have the deepest respect for all the people over there. So definitely that actually resonates with my own experience as well. So my next question to you would be: after you came back from Canada, what was the string of events that led you to led you to form this company that is called Hexatech Solutions? And give us a little bit of rundown of what Hexatech Solutions actually is.
Okay, sure, thanks. One thing I would like to mention is that the greatest thing I learned in Canada was communication. Uh, uh, their corporate world is all about communication. Without communication, they wouldn't be what we call the first world or the modern world. That's why I say. It's irrelevant for the timing, but it's going to be relevant later on. So afterwards, I got back in Bangladesh. Within a month of time, I got into a job for the timing. uh, I was promised so many things over there due to my experience and all the things I was doing good there. Uh, but later on, I wasn't good enough because I didn't know those things that you gotta do in the corporate world in Bangladesh, right? I was just
Yeah,
focused at work.
you gotta
So
lick some, you
yeah.
gotta lick some boots.
Um, however, like I'm a person who believes that the responsibilities that has been put on me from the company, I should be doing it properly. And I didn't know that beyond the responsibilities, there are a few things you need to do. But however, that was a lesson that I learned. Afterwards, to be honest, I changed few companies because everywhere I went, the common issue I was facing, because I told you before I was getting back here, my conception here was that I would try to introduce these things that I learned over there, that I have implemented in different projects, and I got the successful result out of it, right? So I was thinking that I would be able to introduce these things to here in these offices that I was working. Then I started hearing a new thing that was pretty much common everywhere. That sorry, I gotta quote this in Bangla. এটা বাংলাদেশ এখানে এমনি চলে.
It is
At
what it
some
is, buddy.
point, I was really disappointed because if someone said that before I was leaving Canada that এটা বাংলাদেশ এখানে এমনি চলে, then I wouldn't have come here, to be honest, because my whole concept was the change that we need here. But I don't get it. Why people cannot accept the changes, and changes are not always bad. You have to understand it. You have to evaluate every change, that whether it's a good change for me or it's a bad change for me, right? Like, okay, so you are waking up, say for example, you are waking up 5 a.m. in the morning every day, and now I'm telling you, no, 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 you're not gonna wake up at 5 in the morning. You should be waking up at 12 in the morning, like in the afternoon, I would say, right? Like, would you accept that change? No, definitely, duh, because it's not a good change. But what if I'm telling you the vice versa? You are waking up 12 in the morning, and I'm asking you to wake up 5 in the morning. That's a good change I'm asking you to do. That's gonna be beneficial for yourself. It's not just a knowledge I'm sharing you. I'm telling you something that should be fruitful for yourself. But this is
And
the
it should
thing.
be
Any
and it
kind
should
of
be
change,
backed,
try to
and it should be
push it
backed.
backwards.
It should be backed up by data as well. Like, it should be backed up by science, or maybe it should be a fact, or it should be backed up by proper data, so to speak. Like, if even if you're sharing a kind of like an information with the people.
uh, you understand, a guy who just joined in a company coming up with all these ideas make people furious because they think I'm challenging them. But I don't know, that's what I am. If I know something, I will speak it out loud. I don't care what you think. And if I'm telling you something good, I just don't get it. And if it's going to be beneficial for the company, I still don't get it. Why people still in Bangladesh are not acceptable towards it. For instance, I would say, uh, um, so after hearing all these things, like এটা বাংলাদেশ এখানে এটা possible না, so um, I decided to take another challenge from people. I just remembered that people told me before I was leaving Bangladesh that I won't be able to graduate even from Canada, whereas I got my bursary as well. And I also work in the corporate world over there. So I proved myself, and I proved myself right. I was capable of doing it. So this was the next challenge that I got from all these people, that no, it's not possible. Well, you gotta wait. Oh, no, you don't know the culture in Bangladesh. You need to learn our culture. Like, you are asking me to take a culture which is really backward right now. Like, I just don't get it. And why I supposed to receive your invitation towards it. So I denied. And then I realized one thing is that, first thing, as being the only certified IT business analyst in Bangladesh, it was quite impossible for me to explain people that what I do, because all those interviews that I had to face in the interview board, I had to explain those who were taking my interview that what is an IT business analyst. Uh, then in one interview, I realized that there is no point explaining this to these people, because even if they don't even know what is an IT business analyst, then what's the point for me to come here and go with these interview sessions? So I decided that, okay, this is my strength. This is what I know. This is what I know I can do the best, which is an IT business analyst. And if no one can hire me, then you know what? I should hire myself, and I should start this trend in Bangladesh. Maybe we will have more IT business analysts coming up afterwards. We can set up these things here. It's been a long, it's gonna be a long journey, definitely for us. But I started from one, and now we are a family of 5. It's not because we cannot extend it yet. It's just because this is the 5 fingers of one hand. So all these 5 people here in my company, we have pretty much similar kind of perspectives about life, about work, and whatnot. We have our work ethics. We are very serious about our work. What we commit here, because one thing I saw in Bangladesh is that people don't care about time. No matter what we say, we don't care about our time. We care only about our time, but we don't care about others' time, right? So I was more focused that, okay, what I've seen that someone is gonna promise you that the delivery date will be like this date, and you'll get it like maybe 6 months later, or sometimes 6 days later. First thing I realized that this concept has to change. So that was the first thing. On time work delivery. That's our first commitment to our clients. And not only on time work delivery, it has to be a qualityful work. Like if you take shorter time and you produce a bad work, a bad outcome of your production, then it doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's going to be a loss for my company. It's going to be a loss for my clients who are investing on my company, right? So I made sure we will be providing a quality product within the promised timeline, and it's not going to extend by any means. But there is definitely an issue. But from our end, we will be doing everything within the time frame that we set up. But there are sometimes we can't do anything because it goes beyond our hand, because there are times when we need client feedbacks. Without client feedbacks, we cannot produce the desired product, right? And on those moments, we sometimes struggle. But then again, alhamdulillah, the client I have, or the clients I have, they are very really helpful, and they're understanding. They understand the value of my business. They respect my decisions. So yeah, so far so good. It's going good. And these clients who are working with me, some of them say that, well, they are seeing this kind of working culture for the first time in Bangladesh. And alhamdulillah, that was my first goal to achieve. And that's the feedback I got from one of my clients. That was the first success for me.
Cool, fantastic. And the thing is, like, if a company comes to you, or if a company wants to avail the services of an IT business analyst, I would definitely peg them down as one of the progressive ones, because they have understood the necessity of this thing. That is why they have come to you. So working with them would probably be a smoother process than working with other companies. And now my next question is, like, what kind of services have you been providing recently for your clients? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so we call ourselves the Hexa Solutions. It's Hexa and Tech. So we almost cover 6 areas of technology. So one of them is website design and development, then mobile app design and development. We also work on what I would say, digital marketing sector, or we have software development sector. So we have security and surveillances. So it's basically, my company is an IT business solution provider. So the clients that I have, or the clients I look for, is that, say for example, Lincoln, you have a business yourself, right? And now you are realizing that for your business, you might need to do something to reach to people. I'm gonna give you a practical life experience. So one of my clients called me a few days back. So he is not used to with this modern technologies. Especially, he doesn't even have Facebook. He doesn't know how to run YouTube. So this guy called me up. So I went to him, and after the discussion, what I realized that first thing first, he still realizes newspapers, like paper newspapers, physical newspapers. He reads those for his knowledge. And besides, he maybe he sees television, but that's it, nothing more than that. So what he was struggling with, he told me that he is being investing the same amount for his marketing in the newspapers, but in return he's not getting as much as response that he used to get during 90s or early 2000s, right? So that's the thing. When you have a business and you don't know what to do with your business, because you need to reach to people, you need to do something which will modernize your business, then this client comes to me. And then what happened, I explained the client that what he actually requires, where he is lacking. I told him that even in my family, we used to have papers every morning in our house door, but we don't have it for the last few years, I guess, because we see all these newses, like whatever newspaper you want to mention, you can get it online. In Facebook, you see all these ads. Whatever product you have, you can just sell it over there. All you have to do is, like, you have to do certain kind of digital marketing for your company. So see, this is the thing I do. Basically, it's hard to explain what is an IT business analyst does. So in short, in our ITBA world, what we say is that we are the bridge between business and the IT section. So business and IT is not similar. So say, for example, you have a food business, right? But you're not supposed to know how to create your website, or whether to create your app, or how to reach out to your, all you know, what are the foods in demand, how those foods gonna be prepared, how gonna maintain the quality, right? So how I can connect the business to the clients is that I go there and I explain them that what needs to be done after reviewing their requirements, or after reviewing the back history behind their businesses. And then from there, I do my own analysis, and then I come with the idea that how they can mix up their business with the IT work. And that's what I've been trying to introduce here. And Lincoln, hopefully there will be a time when I won't have to explain any more people that what is an IT business analyst. There will be sufficient people here in Bangladesh, and will be aware of our works as well.
No doubt about that. So, Tanjim, thank you very much for that answer. And we are going to take this question. We have this dude called Tofik Rahman Anik. He dropped in a very good question. So I'm going to read this out first. So nice to see you both. I have a question to Tanzim Bhai. I'm 28 years old and completed my post-graduation. I want to be an entrepreneur, but it's really difficult to become an entrepreneur in BD because of family and social problems. I also have a plan to go abroad. So at this stage, which is better? Is it to go abroad or to try to start a business? So what would you recommend this young fellow? Like, should he go abroad to study something or gather some experience first? Or should he try to launch a business of his own at this stage?
Okay, first of all, I'm just a person. I'm just a person who started a business. I'm not a business guru or anything else like that I can suggest you that what you should be doing. It's basically, I would say that it's personal choices. Either you can think that, well, why not I start a business here, and later on, the time I have to move to abroad, I can, just keep my business going on, because this is the era. You can be in wherever in the world, and you can run your business wherever you want to, because you have this internet, right? So I wouldn't say that it's a conflict between whether you should start a business or go for study, if you're confident enough. So okay, first thing I would like to say that I know there are two kind of business persons in Bangladesh or wherever in this world. So the most common one, investor business person. So these are the people who has like lots of bank accounts and lots of monies and whatnot. And there is another group which is very small, but it's blooming right now, I would say. People investing their brains. Now you may not be good at playing any games. You may not be good at doing something specific, but there is definitely something specific about you are good at. You might be a good bike rider. You might be a good car driver. Like you gotta find first your strength. You gotta first know that what is that occupation that you feel interested in. Because unless you invest your time towards something that you feel interested, you won't see any valuable result. Like I'm talking about long-lasting businesses. I'm not talking about short-term businesses like you invest for a while, you get some money and you leave. No, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about if you really want to become a business person, first you're gonna be an entrepreneur, or you're gonna be a startup business person. So now about Onyx, I would say that if you already have got your admission from any university abroad, I would suggest then go for it. At this point, don't invest your money towards your education or your startup business, because while you move to in a new country, you definitely need chunk of money at the very beginning until you get your work. So that's my suggestion personally. And if you are still thinking that you might try to go abroad and get your post higher education from there, then I would suggest you still have the time to think that whether you should be starting your business or you should be going abroad. And because buddy, look at me, what I did. I left textile engineering sector. I left my family. I left the country that I was born in. I left everything. I never thought even that I would even go abroad anytime. But it was a moment that I had to take my decision. Even before starting my business, there was a point I had to decide whether I should be continuing my service sector or should I start my own business. It took me a while. I would say maybe 7 or 8 months. I took those time for myself. I did nothing back by that time. But what I did, I invested my time on researching. I invested my time figuring out that if I start a business, what is gonna be, what is my strength that's gonna be related to my business, and what I feel like I'll be capable to pulling it off. So I also had to take my decision at a certain point. And in business, you always have to take risks. Unless you have the guts to take the risk, never go for business. Never. Because business is all about risk, definitely.
That's the kind of answer that I would be looking for as well. So the thing is, if you already have a business, like from my point of view, it's pretty simple. If you already have a business going on, or if you have a budding business, so to speak, or if you have a business model, I want you to sit down and try to analyze where your business might be in the next 5 years. What's the potential that lies there within? And if you see that it might succeed or it might not even succeed, and then if you have the chance to go abroad, I would say take the chance, explore, and definitely those time abroad, that will change you. That will change you, and that would educate you a lot. And that's another investment into your business, because what you are going to learn abroad, you can definitely put that back into your business, and that will definitely boost your business and boost your confidence as well, which in turn will get you better revenue out of that. So I hope that's the kind of answer that should guide you to the right path. So thank you very much, Onik, for that question. So getting back to Tanzim, so the thing is, Tanzim, now that you have been a student first, you have been a student, I have been a student of Arsenal University, and we have been job seekers as well before going to before you went to Canada, before I went to Australia. We have been job seekers, and now you have come back from Canada, you have started your own business. So now you are in the seat of an employer. So as an employer, my question to you, that what are the qualities that you would be looking for in your employees, and how would you change the current recruitment process for the better? If there are something that's in your head, like I want to see this kind of change within the recruitment process of Bangladesh, what are those changes gonna be?
So first, let me go through with the first portion. You asked that what are the qualities that I would like to see in my employees, or the qualities that I usually check. So first thing first, I never check their CGPA. That's something about me.
That's cool.
It's not because I wasn't so good in my CGPAs. It's something because I feel like once you check the CGPA, you somehow get biased.
True.
Subconsciously, you get biased.
True.
So a person coming with 4 CGPA and person coming with 2 CGPA, like I think if they say the same things, I would rather think that that person is more intelligent than this one. It's something human nature. I cannot, even though I try to stop myself getting biased, but these are the things. So this is one reason that I usually don't ever try to even check that what their CGPA is. So first thing what I do is that I want to see their efforts. I might give them a task. I might just ask them to send me a resume, and I will see. And I might just give them a specific time to send me that resume. And that's my first interview towards you, that I will see that whether you are a good listener or not. So the persons who sends me exactly within that timeline are the first choices for me. And the person who doesn't care about the timeline, sends whenever they want, I'm not sure that that's the right person for my company. Then the second thing is that I would like to see they're outspoken and confident. Confident people are very valuable for any startup, because your company is not confident yet because it's just a startup. So you definitely need a lot of confident people all around this company to make it established. So that's another thing I need. And outspoken, the reason I said it, that in Bangladesh, this is something all the employers doesn't want in their employees. They want some people who would be running by the clocks the way they want them to run by the clocks. And they should not say anything because they are getting paid. I don't know whether we're still living in that era where, you know, you can just buy off people. But I don't believe in that. So I want outspoken person. I don't like those people who would say something in your face and they will be thinking something else deep inside. I don't accept that. So that relates to another quality, which is you need to be expressive. Because if I cannot understand you, then you will never be able to understand me. And if we don't understand each other, we cannot make a family bonding here. And we are here in Hexatech to create a big family. Every company says that we are a big family, but to me, family is family. I really care for every single person of the family. Then you have to be definitely a team player. Hardworking is definitely, and you are goal-oriented and committed to your work. These are the things that I would be looking for before hiring an employee.
So if there are some new dynamics that you would want to introduce within your recruitment process or into the recruitment process of Bangladesh, are there any dynamics that you want to see changed?
So, first thing is that reference is a good thing. Everywhere in this world, we need references, but nepotism is not a proper term for references. We say references in Bangladesh, but what we see is nepotism here. And first thing first, we gotta change these things, because for this issue only, I have seen a lot of people who are not getting their desired jobs. Um, and the hiring process, I would suggest it should change, because if you ask me my hiring process, then first I will see their problem solving capacity and the capability, and their capacity test under work pressure. So these are all gonna be, say for example, uh, practical. So if say, just saying that if I'm hiring a person as an IT business analyst, in my hiring process, I will conduct a test for them. I will give them a business problem where they will have a certain time to solve it for me and give their best solution out of it, because I will give them less time than they actually required, because that's the test I want to see, that how they react when they are under work pressure. Because if you make silly mistakes while you are under work pressure, then I guess it's a concern before hiring you. And if you are really sensitive about your work, if you know how to control yourself during time work frame, uh, then that's the person I'm looking for. So, and the other things will be as per their job responsibilities, because it shouldn't be same for everyone. Like if I'm hiring a developer and I'm hiring a salesperson, the interview sessions shouldn't be same, the questions shouldn't be same, it should be totally different for those two
Definitely.
groups, right? So that's what I believe, that as per your work responsibilities, this interview session should go on.
Definitely. So like it needs to be dynamic, it needs to be changed every now and then. Like I've still seen companies like they are recruiting for over 8 to 10 years with the same set of questions. The questions never change, man. And they still wonder why they aren't getting good candidates, or why aren't they hiring good employees and stuff like that.
Tell me
So
about
yeah.
yourself. Tell me about yourself,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Like,
Tell the first question, the very
I'm
first question.
tired of it.
Tell me about.
I know myself pretty good, man.
It is like
I don't need to
they
say
have
it
a
over and over again.
they have a way to defend this question as well. Like they say how a person describes themselves, that actually carries a lot of significance of on how that person actually is, and how a person talks about themselves
Lincoln, I
also
cannot hear
expresses.
you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? There might be a little bit of lag, but the sound should be okay.
I cannot hear you.
Okay, let me check. Yeah, things are okay from my end. Like things look okay from my end.
Just give me some moment. I might try and change my headphone, I guess.
Yeah,
Let's
sure,
see whether
sure.
that works.
Yeah, sure.
If you can hear
I
me.
can hear you. I can hear you just
Give me
fine.
some
I can
moment.
hear
Sorry.
you.
It's not here. Yeah, can you talk, please?
Yeah. Like, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I can
I
hear you.
was hearing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now it's
perfect.
okay. So what I was saying
Sorry.
was like yeah, no problems. Like these things happen to all of us. So what I was saying was like they have a way of defending this question. Like tell me about yourself. If you ask an HR personnel like why do you ask this question to all the employees or all the candidates that you get, they would defend it in a way like the way a person describes themselves, that actually carries a lot of significance, and that is how they get those subtle hints or those subliminal messages about the person. So like they have their weird reasons, man, but the thing is it gets repetitive. Like you have 5 interviews in a week, that can happen. If you are an active job seeker, that can happen to you. You can get like 5 interviews within one single week. So like you are having to explain yourself over and over again. That does get pretty boring and pretty repetitive as well at times.
I guess if the screening before, like calling for the interview session, conducts more strictly, if they screen it as per their requirements, then these issues shouldn't come. Because what I feel like that the screening is not that good. They just call people for the interview, and after they come to the interview, then they decide that okay, whether this person is good for this
they
thing or not. Um,
they
yeah,
call
that's the
they
thing.
call every single one, every single CV they get, they call every single person just to see if that fits.
But then again, it's not healthy because for some people it's tiring after going on interviews over and over again, because you are getting calls from the wrong companies, the companies that actually not looking for you. They are calling you, so you are wasting your time and energy towards them. So sometimes it creates depression to people. And another thing is that I hate most is that okay, so when you apply for the job somewhere, you have to send them the email, right? But in return, I have
Yep.
barely seen any company in Bangladesh sends you a email regarding that, okay, we are sorry, you are not being accepted, except the MNCs. The MNCs maintains it, I know it, but I'm talking about the local companies here. They're not even bothered, even if you call them to know that whether they have hired someone or not, if they won't even give you the answer. Like that's not fair towards the people who are applying, because they are giving their time towards applying to your company, and you don't have the time to just courtesy telling them that, well, sorry, for this time we're not able to hire you up. So this is
Yeah.
another thing. This is the reason I was talking about the communication previously. It's because lack of knowledge regarding communication. We think communication is like I'm calling you, that's the communication. No, man. In business world, communication is something different. So the first base of communication is email. Um, uh, I have bitter experience regarding it.
Oh,
So yeah,
the
I'm not
email,
going to
the
mention
email culture
anyone,
of
but
Bangladesh.
I got an email from one of the CTOs of a very very big company. Uh, his email was starting with "Dear Tanzim," and I didn't read the letter of the email body afterwards, because if you are in such a big position of the company, you're supposed to know that how to start the starting line of an email. Like you should use Mr. or Mrs.
At
Lincoln, if I'm not wrong, even
least,
those things were taught to
at least,
us while we were
at least,
studying in Asanullah.
at least Mr. Tanzim. Yeah,
It's been
yeah,
teach we have been taught,
yeah.
but we don't care. Hello.
Yeah, like in yeah, I can hear you.
So what I feel like that these are the basic
Yeah,
things that you need to teach every
yeah,
employee after they start their job to your company. Like first thing, you need to teach them how to write an email body. Second thing, you need to teach them check their email every single day, because that's the first thing you need to do after coming to office. That's what I've been taught. Like that's what they do in North America, every single one. after getting to their offices, like if it's an office, they would be checking their emails first, and then they will start their work, because in the email you might have really important issues that you need to sort out at the very first hour of your office hour. So that's why it's so important, and I don't know why people doesn't get it, and people says it's Bangladesh, it's not possible. Like I'm sorry, man, like we gotta change. Like it's Bangladesh, I know it, and this thing you are saying, it's not the good thing you're saying. What I'm asking you is to improve yourself, because once you improve, there will be other people who will be following you afterwards.
Yeah, be the change you want to see in this world. So the thing is, we aren't into that email culture yet. Like in first world countries, for example, in USA or in Canada or in Australia or even in Europe, the first thing people do after waking up is checking their emails. That's the first thing.
That's
That's
what
the
I
first thing
still
they do.
do.
And yeah, what we do is we first check Facebook. So this is what
Well,
we have
buddy,
learned
sorry,
so
that's
far.
not for me. First thing I check is my email at the very beginning. But recently, I have changed this habit as well, by the way, because what I realized that after waking up, checking your email or any social activities like social media activities makes your day very stressful. So I take 1 hour or half an hour break after I wake up. And when like I get back to normal life, like I have my teas and I'm freshen up and whatnot, then I start
once you
checking
have
my emails.
once
And
you once you have regained your senses, that's when you go dive into the emails and stuff like that.
yeah, like take
So
deep breaths, because I know those emails not gonna make me happy. It's not. It's never
certainly
happy
not.
emails there.
Certainly not. So yeah, Tanzim, the thing is we have already spoken. Oh, it's been over an hour. So the thing is, these sessions usually don't go on for that long, but I try to keep it within
Sorry.
40-45 minutes. But the thing is, I think we have covered all the points that we said that we would. We have discussed about some pretty important topics, and we got to know about your story, the story that we have been dying to hear. How Tanzim from Asanullah, a textile engineer, became an IT business analyst and the only one in this country. Very rare, a very rare find, so to speak. And how are you going about starting a company? Like what I wrote in the intro when I shared the link for the live session is a lot of people like to talk about entrepreneurship. A lot of people do like to talk about startups, but the thing is, once they are successful, they can make up their own stories. So you will never find the true story, or you'll never know what actually transpired. So that is why we brought you onto this platform to know what is going on with you, and the real and the raw experience of going through a startup phase or starting your own company. So that is the most valuable takeaway for our audience today. And I thank you for your time, that you took out your precious time from your busy schedule. And we would like to have you in our future sessions as well. I'll definitely let you know where
Thank
when
you.
we would want to see you on our live sessions. And definitely, like, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. And if you want to say a few final words to our audiences, and after that we would probably close the session.
Okay. Um, well, one thing I missed. So in my company, we are really focused about employee benefits, the facilities that we are providing to our employees. We share profits to our employees, and we do a certain percentage for charity. Um, However, the last thing I would like to say that companies formed by hardworking of a group of people. It's never one man army show. So always try to be focused. And when if you're a startup, I would tell you that you'll have issues from society, you'll have issues from your family, you'll have issues from your friends. But end of the day, when you go to sleep, it's your life. You are the one who's upset. You are the one who's been trying, right? So never give up, have belief, and go for it. Thank you, Lincoln. Thanks for your time, and thanks everyone for attending this session. Hopefully you enjoyed, and thanks to Lincoln for taking all these creative initiatives, and looking forward for his prospect.
Thank you very much, Tanzim, and we will probably see you again. So this has been Lincoln Hassan and Tanzim with Edupia, and I'll catch you in another session. Till then, peace.
Assalamu alaikum.